Not only does the autumn equinox represent a changing of the physical seasons, but it also represents a change of the spiritual season of life that you are in. And so in today's video, I want to dive into what exactly is in store for you over the next 3 months with this autumn equinox in 2025. Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Isabel, your spiritual rebel friend, and today we are talking about the fall equinox, which took place on September 22nd of 2025. In today's video, I want to kind of talk about both what the fall equinox / autumn equinox represents in a spiritual manner in and of itself, and how this ties into astrology and sets, so to say, the tone for what the next 3 months of our life look like. The reason I wanted to talk about this is because I really feel that, especially as I've been trying to put out more daily content for you guys, more daily predictions, weekly predictions, it's very easy to get in a very, so to say, narrow scope where it feels like there's always something happening right in front of our nose. And I feel with personally even the autumn equinox that this has been a really great opportunity to give me a broader scope of what season of life I am in right now. Both how the fall equinox itself spiritually affects us, but also how this sets the tone astrologically and correlates with astrology as well. So I want to talk about that today to help you guys get a broader scope of where you're at. So if you feel like eclipse season has been really intense, if September was a really challenging month for you and maybe some things are resolving, you may be left with the question of, now what? Now where am I heading? And this video is meant to help give you that direction, because the fall equinox, or also known as the autumn equinox of 2025, can really be a great opportunity for intention setting and better understanding what is in store for you over the next 3 months. So this is going to be one of my less structured videos because I try to put out very structured, detailed, time-stamped videos, but I try to throw in a video every now and then that's a bit more, so to say, tangenty. And so I'm going to use less slides today. If you had questions and you want summaries, I will answer those questions and send them out on my email newsletter. So join my email newsletter down in the description box below, where I create better summaries in regards to all the content I create on here and transits that we're having. So let's just get straight into this kind of concept. If you're unaware, what is the autumn equinox and what does it more spiritually represent? The autumn equinox, which takes place around fall, marks the beginning of fall, and it's when the sun, the time of day and night becomes equal once again. And with the fall autumn equinox, this is very symbolic, at least even in an astrological term, that the autumn equinox always represents, with Libra season, the equality of night and day, and Libra is the scales. It represents balance and fairness. And so when we hit the autumn equinox, this is representing spiritually a beginning of a new season of life in a, at least physical manner actually, of equilibrium of night and day. We are slowing down our pace of life just a little bit in comparison to summer. After having our longest days of the year, having all the warmth, we move into cooler themes, calmer themes, and more relaxation. As I titled my video for October and I believe my email for October 2025 astrology, I said repeatedly that this is about following your bliss, or this can feel like a cool breeze on a hot day. So the autumn equinox marks the beginning of a season of equilibrium. And the days, of course, this is when the day is perfectly equal, night and day. And as we get closer to the solstice, the winter solstice, that is when we hit our longest night of the year. And so basically what this represents is a turning point in just the autumn equinox in and of itself. To my understanding, it asks you to consider the balance in your life. What I think about with this being the autumn equinox and the fall equinox is, I actually, it was funny because I was talking to someone from who lives in Europe, and they refer to it as the autumn equinox, whereas in America here we say fall because leaves fall. It's so crazy. And I think that even that word really comes to mind when I'm thinking about the fall equinox, is that not only does it represent in a physical way the equal of night and day, and therefore representing in a spiritual way the equalness of rest and action, but also we're slowly beginning our fall into rest. The leaves are starting to fall, our energies are starting to fall. And so really the autumn equinox is an invitation to start thinking about, how do I want to prepare myself for rest? Though we don't live like primal beings, like the animals of the world who go into hibernation, many of them, we have that ingrained in us. And the autumn equinox is where we start asking ourselves, how do I slow down? How do I fall into rest? How am I preparing myself to fall into rest? So the autumn equinox represents the equilibrium of night and day, representing the equilibrium between rest and action. Additionally, we can also phrase this in the spiritual way I see it. It's the equality between day and night, which is the sun and moon. We are balancing our ego, our vitality, our energy, our enthusiasm with our emotions, our inner child, our feelings, and just following our heart. And so with the autumn equinox, we can also see this as well. The theme it sets already, just in the day in and of itself, we can see that reflected in astrology. Until the autumn equinox to the winter solstice, we have 3 zodiac seasons. The autumn equinox kicks off with Libra season. Then we have Scorpio season and Sagittarius season. And then around when Capricorn season starts, that's when we have our solstice. And so with Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius season, we can also see strong indications into the phase of life we're being called to focus on. Now, granted, everyone's chart has a Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius are going to be different houses. But these 3 archetypes really represent connections. And so this is what I gather from thinking about this autumn equinox as well, is that after being in a very intense summer with some planetary energies such as Jupiter being in Cancer during all of these Cancer season energies, and with we've had a storyline with Leo energy because Mars went retrograde here in my view, and we've had intense Virgo energy with the eclipses. So after having a very intense summer of these energies of focus, Libra season invites calm and peace and a movement away from the focus on the self and towards the other. So not only does our autumn equinox represent this equilibrium of day and night for ourselves personally, it represents a time to focus on our connections with others. The reason for that being, I would say, is even just the concept of in the autumn equinox, an equilibrium of day and night. It's putting things on equal pedestals, equal balance. And with this also being the initiation of Libra season is where we start focusing on our connections to others. So as we move away from the heat of the summer and how this has played out for us, all this intense energy revolving around perfecting and changing, transforming ourselves, we enter a season where we're focused on our connections. Libra and Scorpio go very hand in hand together in my view, because Libra represents the initiation of connection and Scorpio is the deepening of that connection. And so when we enter Libra and Scorpio, regardless of what house it is in your chart, this is our season to cultivate rest by cultivating connection. This is also why we refer to this time of year stereotypically as cuffing season, because this is where we start pursuing our connections. We think about the holidays. We have to think about, many of us think we have to bring someone home for the holidays, and it brings that similar energy. So the autumn equinox asks us to bring more balance to our life, especially through our connections. And I think that's again reflected in the idea of equal night and day, equal sun and moon. Our moon is our deepest emotional need, and it's oftentimes the biggest thing I see us pursue in our relationships. It's the thing we want the most in our relationships. Yes, we want women to be our Venus, we want men to be our Mars, we want 7th house energy, but at the end of the day, we all crave our moon. And I think that is reflected in the energies of Libra and Scorpio season. Being the kickoff for this autumn equinox, or being a part of this autumn season, is pursuing our connections on a deep emotional level for the sake of providing ourselves more rest and security. And then we get to Sagittarius season, which is a bit of a subtly different theme than Libra and Scorpio. Sagittarius invites us to deepen, just as Scorpio does, but deepen our connection to life. how Sagittarius does this is it seeks mental and physical exploration. So this is really about this energies I see all together. It's connection and meaning, or connection, deepening connection, deepening meaning. And so Scorpio really works as this bridge between these two energies in many ways. And I think you guys see that point I'm trying to make there. So Sagittarius season is our annual time of year to try to explore a bit more for the sake of feeling a higher sense that life is meaningful. We want to deepen our connection to life and deepen our relationship to our life experience. So overall, this autumn equinox, the day it happened, which is now in the past as of recording this video, it represents the start of this season. What is this season all about? This is a 3-month period where we're being invited to cultivate connection, depth, and meaning. When we get to Capricorn season, when we hit our winter solstice and we have Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces energy, this is our time of year to focus more on greatness, I would call it. Capricorn focuses on the dead of winter. It's a very interesting energy because it's how can I be disciplined? How can I be motivated? How can I create change? Aquarius, how can I create change? How can I innovate? Pisces, how can I be the best possible? It's this energy of improvement, I feel like. Whereas Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius, not that they don't improve themselves at all, but this fall energy, what they represent is our period for rest through connection and depth. And so I really wanted to talk about this 3-month period because this is very much a 3-month segment, a portion of time that goes all together. Though we do have this broken into thirds of Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, there's an ongoing storyline here of how are you preparing yourself for rest? How are you preparing yourself for your nights to become longer, your rest season to become longer? I would invite you to look back and to really kind of incorporate this concept more. This whole concept of night and day really represents energy and rest, yang and yin. And so I would invite you to look back in overall your winters that you have and your summers. Where does energy and rest present itself? How does it present itself? Does it present itself through lack of movement in certain fields of your life? Does it present itself through you feeling lack of physical energy? I know for me, I would say that overall in the colder seasons of the month, it's not that I have less energy. If anything, I love the winter, but I feel like my goal setting attitude, I need to change the world and make everything better kind of mentality goes to rest. Whereas in the summer, I feel way more energy to pursue. And so there's more of a contentment that can kind of come along for me in the winters. But just this concept of observing that, the reason I ask you to notice that, see if it's there, is so then you can think about with this period of the fall equinox, you're being invited to ask yourself, how am I preparing myself to fall, to rest, for my nights to get longer? And your spiritual metaphorical night might be different than another person's. And we could look at your chart to figure out what exactly this means for you. But I really wanted to emphasize that, yes, we do have Libra season, but even and yes, we're gonna have Scorpio season, yes, we're gonna have Sagittarius season, but these three all go hand in hand. And if you are someone who's aspiring to understand astrology, considering and contemplating these three archetypes and where their commonalities lie, how these three are correlated, how they are truly separated together into their season, what that represents for us and what you feel that represents for you. For me, I see it as this is our time to deepen our connections and to focus on connections and prepare for a slower pace of life by cultivating depth with others, whether that's through lighthearted connection, deep emotional connection, or sharing our personal beliefs. Sagittarius kind of reminds us that we need to connect with others on personal beliefs. And so I really see these three signs together, these 3 seasons, these 3 months being a time for us to, well, not like literally 3 months, but 3-month periods of time of being focused on cultivating our depth with something, because we don't need more. We don't need to go get more. We just need to continue to cultivate closeness with what we already have. And additionally with that, so as far as what exact intentions you can set, this was a bit more of a tangent-y video, just kind of to share where my thoughts are at. Overall, as your consensus, I really think this autumn equinox, pursuing its themes, contemplating the idea of equilibrium of night and day, Libra season is an opportunity for you to set intentions for the next 3 months. This 3-month period of time is a segment. It is its own portion of time. It represents you pursuing equilibrium through pursuing depth, connection, understanding, meaning, purpose. Purpose in why are we here? Purpose it through ideologies and beliefs. So how can you cultivate that? How can you cultivate balance in your life? And where do you need to cultivate this balance in order to prepare yourself for longer nights in the later parts of the year as we near closer and closer to our winter solstice? And with that as well, I also wanted to take this as an opportunity to share a message that I don't think many people are aware of on my channel, which is I offer 3-month coaching programs. And the reason I offer 3-month coaching programs is to go hand to hand alongside these 3-month seasons that we have between every equinox to solstice, solstice to equinox. This is a really important period of time for us for intention setting. Each segment of roughly 3 months, 90 to 92 days, is its own period of time with different themes for us. Are we in the fall? Are we in the rise? Are we in the stillness? Are we in the highest energy? Aligning to this can be really helpful, especially because we can look at those more detailed transits, which is what we do, especially in these horoscopes and these coaching. But it's not just about looking at the micro scale, it's looking at the macro scale and saying, what is this season of life about for you? And so if you are someone who feels like this year has been long, this year has been intense, this year has been hectic, or you know what, I just really feel like I want to intention set for the 3 months that are ahead, then I invite you to join one of my 3-month coaching programs. I have 3 different options available. One is monthly coaching, so you get 3 sessions over 3 months where we meet and we talk about what has happened, what will happen, how you can intention set for the month ahead. I have bi-weekly coaching where we meet every other week to talk about how your life is going, intention set, same deal. And then I have a weekly program. If you are really wanting someone to be there for you, support you, and have someone to constantly share your ideas with so that you feel like you're on track. If you feel like this season for connection for you is about having more support in your life through maybe coaching, then this program could be for you. I will link the program down below where you guys can learn more if that is something you're interested in. But I really wanted to talk about this today because I see this personally going on in my life. Setting intentions for this autumn equinox can feel so good. And maybe that's just me because I love fall and I really feel like as an Aries, Libra season really balances me. But also this could just be, additionally, I sent out an email just the other day saying like, hey, side note, I offer coaching. And, you know, I just assume everyone knows this. And I had someone start joining who enrolled, and it occurred to me that, you know, maybe not everyone hears about this. I feel like I've said it 100 times, but chances are I've only said it like 2 times. So if you're looking for guidance, if you're looking for coaching, if you like today's video, if you've done a reading with me and you like the tone, if you're looking for a balance of basically therapy, but make it astrology and psychology, this could be for you. So learn more about coaching down below. And you can also, when you go to that link, you will see that there's a contact form. So if you have any questions regarding programs, which one you should enroll in, if it's for you, I'd be more than happy to answer. I personally answer all of my emails. Even if I'm slow, I do get around personally to answering them. I don't have a virtual assistant. So let me know down in the comments below if this resonated for you. What did you feel happened in your life during the autumn equinox, especially because it took place the day after the solar eclipse in Virgo? What do you feel like the season for life is about for you, so to say? What is this season? What's going on in this season of life for you? What are you hoping to manifest? What are you working towards? How are you incorporating the concept of balance in this phase of life? Let me know down in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and stay tuned for more videos breaking down the stars. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I sincerely hope you enjoyed. Once again, my name's Isabel. From my heart to yours, namaste.